James Tanner and Tony Tobin.
Lovely to see you, my man.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Hi, James.
Good. Up for the challenge, boys?
Always up for the challenge.
What's your favourite type of bag, then? What do you like?
I quite like desserts,
Yeah.
and I quite like Asian stuff, because
Yeah.
it's quick to cook and you've only got 20 minutes.
Absolutely. That's it. It's no time at all, really, is it, eh? It's amazing what you can get up to in 20 minutes, eh? Now, what about you, then, Tony?
I like a bit of fish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about your worst bag, then, Tony?
My worst bag has been a big 3.5 kilogram bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, it's
That's all it was in there.
you don't know what to do, do you, really?
Well, I did. I made a fool of myself in 20 minutes.
I wonder if they'll make a fool of themselves today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out. To welcome our first contestant from Somerset, David Anderson. Hello, David. How Jason? Lovely to see you.
Hello, James. Pleased to meet you. Lovely to meet you.
No, David, I
Thank you.
didn't talk to the boys about it because one of our chefs aren't married, but you've been married for rather a long time, haven't you?
45 years.
45 years,
Yeah.
known your wife for 50 years.
Yeah.
What's the secret, then?
Oh, she indoors, I suppose.
Really?
She must be obeyed.
Absolutely.
No. That's a question, I think, of compromising and everything else, you know, ups and downs, get through them and so forth to that.
Sure.
But,
Let's have a look what you've got in your bag then. All sorts of things we're going to find out about them, ladies and gentlemen. So that will come a little bit later on, but first, let's see what David's got in his bag here. OK, now, tell us about this little lot.
We have a piece of pork, some egg noodles, white cabbage, carrots, spring onion and an apple.
Lovely. It's a bit of an Asian feel there,
Yeah,
isn't it,
it's
Chef?
definitely got something going on.
And how much did you spend on that?
£5 and threepence.
Yeah, very good. It's a few p over. We're not going to be worried about that, are we? Yeah, I know. I like a bit of that. It's a bit of a classic bag there. Nice bit of pork there, Chef, right up your street.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely come up with something like this lot. A good classic bag.
Yeah, there you go. Looking forward to meeting your wife, and she can tell us all about you, right?
Oh, dear.
I wonder what will be revealed, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome Tricia Anderson. Hello, Tricia. How are you, my darling? Lovely to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Come and meet Tony.
Hello, Tricia. Nice to see you.
Now, you've
Nice to meet you,
travelled all
James.
over the world with your husband, 45 years married.
Yes.
Do you have a favourite destination?
I must say Singapore is my favourite.
It's a bit of a shopping capital, though, isn't it? Everyone goes there for electrical goods, but perhaps living there, you saw a lot more.
Oh, yes, it's lovely. Such a mixture of cultures and all sorts of things,
And
yes.
lovely foods and that, too.
Yes,
Did you
so-
adapt quite easily, or was that quite difficult?
Well, being in the army, we were more or less sort of with the other British people a lot of the
So
time.
they had their own
but,
caterers.
But yes, we did like to go out and try the different cuisines and things as well.
Let's see how good a
Yes.
shopper you are.
Got
Then
to be
give
better
that a
than the
good.
rations that you get.
Yes.
Got to give that a good shake for us, then, Trish. Oh, now tell us what you brought along here for Tony.
Smoked haddock, streaky bacon, mature cheddar cheese, a couple of peppers, potato and an onion.
And how much did you spend?
I'm expensive.
Are you?
£5.20.
Oh, I think I'll have to take away one of your peppers, love. I mean, 20p, that's a
Well,
lot.
it needs
It's
some
always
colour, you
expensive,
see.
Ainsley.
Is she always expensive?
Expensive.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Obviously, you like that, didn't you? You
had to get it in.
He's a rich man.
yeah. Tone, what do you think, Chef?
Fantastic.
Yeah, happy with that?
Very happy.
OK, have a chat with Tricia and come up with some ideas. But first, let's find out what James is going to be cooking for David. Go on, mate.
Right, we're going to cook the noodles down and we're going to split them off. We're going to do a kind of like classic-y noodle Asian style soup using some of the vegetables. And then we're going to do a stir-fry with the rest of the vegetables and some of the noodles. With the white cabbage, we're going to incorporate that in some of that, but we're going to cook it down with apple. I've got the world's smallest apple there, as you can see. But we're going to grate that up and cook it down, a bit of white wine here and everything. Then we're going to take the other half of the pork, one half's in the stir-fry, the other half we're going to cook down with garlic and do it traditional with a red wine reduction.
Does that sound
Wow,
nice?
so
those-
smashing. That sounds absolutely lovely. Yes, thank
Wonderful.
you.
He's delighted. Looking forward to seeing that. Fab, fab, fab. What about you, Trish? Let's see what Tony's got in store.
OK, I think with the peppers, we're gonna stuff one of them with like breadcrumbs and garlic and some bacon, some smoked bacon chopped up there, fried up and baked off. We're gonna make a cheese souffle and we're gonna put it in one of the peppers. OK, it might rise, it might not. If it doesn't rise, it'll be a nice cheesy omelette inside a pepper. We're going to roast off or pan roast the haddock, get some nice colour on it, and we're going to serve that with some diced potatoes and onions and bacon all fried together with some garlic and herbs. And then, if we get time, a little bit of a chowder using the rest of the potato and the trimmings off the soup.
OK, nice. chowder, yeah, all of that. Sounds
Yes,
good.
It sounds fantastic.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get them started when I say ready, steady, cook. OK, we're up and away, ladies and gentlemen. If you like it Asian, you've come to the right side of the kitchen. In the green pepper kitchen today, we're going to have a kind of a little bit of an Asian-style broth going on here with the noodles. We've got carrots, we've got the spring onions. We've also got some lovely things in the larder. And we're going to incorporate a little bit of white cabbage, but most of the white cabbage is going to be on the base with the apple, and that's going to be accompanied by some nice seared pork. The other bit of pork is going to be stirred-fried, and we're going to be like, you know, a traditional stir-fry. Lots of lovely big flavours going through that. What about down the other end? Well, Tony did mention a little bit of a chowder. He also mentioned a cheese souffle going inside one of the peppers here. The other pepper's going to be divided with breadcrumbs and garlic and the bacon and onion. That's going to be sprinkled inside. Just a couple of different ways that you can actually use up peppers. And then we're going to have a bit of seared smoked haddock. And notice that haddock is not dyed, OK? So you haven't got that bright yellow stuff. That's a traditional way of smoking it. You should get that colour. And that's going to be served on some diced potatoes, also with a little bit of bacon. But first, we're starting over in the green pepper kitchen. Chef James Tanner and some pork. So we're going to find out what he's going to be doing with that.
So let's talk about pork.
Yeah.
Pork is a very lean meat. You remove the fat from it and it's really lean and cooks quite well. Got a lovely moisture content to it. You see this is what we call like the chain on the pork.
Yeah.
OK, this bit, and this is a bit sinewy and fatty. So we get ourselves a sharp knife and we cut down like so, and I'm going to remove that. The meat parts I'm going to cut out and put into my stir fry. I hate wastage, that kind of thing, right? Now this bit, if we cook this now, this whole thing would start and go... It wouldn't make that noise, but it would bend up like so.
Yeah.
That's because it's got sinew. So what you do is you get your knife, chuck it underneath like so, keep it as tight as you can, move the knife all the way along, and then you cut this stuff off. It's really, really stringy.
Yeah. Bit like a bit of tough leather, isn't it?
Exactly.
And if you haven't got your sharp knife, or you're a bit worried about sort of all that sort of knife etiquette and all that, you get your butcher to do it for you.
Exactly. Your butcher would stand there and do it in seconds for you. But, you know, it's quite easy to do. And if you take your time on it, like so...
But they always include it in the price, don't they? You never get the lean bit.
No, well, this is the thing.
Yeah,
They sell
you've got
you
to pay
the
for
whole
those
thing.
trimmings, guys.
But as you can see, if you only take off a bit, your wastage is minimal.
Yeah.
So I want a nice chunky bit that I'm going to fan out on top of my cabbage and everything else. My cabbage is being cut at the moment.
Oh, and you're doing a good job.
He is, yeah. So I'm going to take that much and I'm going to roast this bit and I'm going to roast it down with garlic and everything else. I'm just going to get myself a pan on the stove to do that.
Yeah.
Now, while that's
Lovely,
on, we can get the rest of it. And the key to a good stir fry is to make sure it's all cooked at the same time.
Yeah.
And I won't be cooking this one yet. We'll do it later on. But you want your meat basically the same size. That way, it's all going to cook at the same time. You're not going to have a bit that's too chewy. You're not going to have a bit that's underdone and that kind of thing. So, check out Super Chef, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. He didn't mess about there at all, did he?
OK, right. So I just finished doing the rest of this. Put this to one side for the stir fry. Cut it up. Evenish kind of pieces.
And try and marinate it. Try and get some flavour in there. That's the idea,
This is the
isn't it?
idea, because what we're going to do is I'll just get rid of that bit of sinew there. Like I said, I'm going to cook this bit later. So in the meantime, as we're going to cook it later, bit of soy in there, bit of sesame oil in there. Just let it incorporate that and then into a hot wok, and that flavour releases straight away.
I look forward to seeing that. Fantastic. OK, so what's going on here?
Diced onion, diced smoked bacon, and some thyme, chopped thyme, butter in there, and I'm just going to sweat that off, and we're going to make some breadcrumbs, and that'll be the stuffing for one of the peppers.
OK. And do we sort of slit the pepper to get them warmed up, or is it not important?
Well, I'm going to warm them up a little bit on there.
All right, then.
Just
to
put
them
them
on the open flame.
Yeah.
That's an unusual way.
I'm going to leave the skin on.
I've never done it like that.
I'm going to leave the skin on, though.
All right, then.
Tricia, if you could separate...
Oh, shall I get you some bowls down here, Tricia? Here we are, my love.
2 eggs, I'll take that.
There you go.
Separate them and then just gently whip up the whites, not the yolks.
OK, so I'll give you a slightly bigger bowl to put your whites in here, and you can put your yolks in one, and let me get that for you.
Thank you.
All right, about 4.5 minutes gone already, gentlemen. Let's keep this whole thing going now. OK, we've got the bacon, the onions, and there's no bitter smell, is there, Tricia? It's when you smell the onion and bacon cooking down with a little bit of fresh thyme or something like that. It's wonderfully aromatic. It really is. It's lovely. OK, Tone, so this is a bit of a cheese sauce, is it?
This is a souffle.
Uh-huh.
Double cream.
Now, you're making this quite quickly, so tell us again.
It's double cream.
Yeah.
I brought it up to the boil, and then I'm taking it off the heat, and I'm going to whisk in as much cheese as I can get into that.
OK, I'll just get this ready for Trish. Here we are, my love. There we are. So, would you normally use a bechamel, Chef? I see you using double cream.
Yep. What I'm going to do is I'll thicken this with the 2 yolks. If you want to whack the 2 yolks in there for me.
There you go. OK, 2 yolks going in there now.
Right, so that's going to cook it, and that's going to
pepper in there now,
A little bit of pepper.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pop a bit of grey mustard. Just some in there as well. That's lovely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right, touch of grey mustard coming over there. There we are. How much would you like in there, Chef?
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll get that in
Lovely.
there as well.
So grey mustard, would you use lots of other different types of mustard too?
You can use mustard, yeah. Mustard just really brings out the flavour of the cheese.
Yeah. All right then, so all of that's in there.
So all that's there. I'll leave those few bits of cheese in there as well.
And
We'll
you
just let that
fold in
cool
the egg
down.
whites.
We're going to fold in the egg whites and then we're going to put that inside
OK.
one of these peppers, probably the green one.
OK. And what are your pans here for, Chef?
That pan's going to start my potatoes, but I just really want to get this going.
OK, I'll just hit this, turn this heat down a touch for you. Lovely. Now we're talking about a different type of flavour here. You've got all your different peppers, or what?
I think they all generally taste the same, Ainsley, more or less, don't they?
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit of sweetness, but I don't think it varies that much.
No,
does
there's
it?
not much in it, to be honest. There's not
How
much in it.
stiff do you want it, Tony?
That's perfect. Absolutely
lovely.
perfect.
That's why they say
read
that's
my
the way to
mind.
try it, isn't it?
Yes.
Hold it upside down there, give it a bit of a shake. Can you hear me? You'd love that to fall on top of my head now, wouldn't you? I'd say, yeah, Ains, we'd really enjoy that. Here's your egg whites, Chef. Looking forward to seeing what you do with those. OK, we'll get rid of those. And Tricia is looking for a new job. So what was it like when he proposed to you? Can you remember 45 years ago what it was like?
He didn't really propose to me at all. He just took it for granted that I was going to marry him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So just kind of said, come on then, we're going down to church.
No, we did actually make proper plans for the wedding
lovely.
itself.
And your father originally used to be the organist.
That's
and
right,
Of
yes.
course, was he in the choir then, before? or-
No, he was a boy soldier and they used
Yeah.
to get marched to church.
Oh.
But Mum and Dad used to invite them back for a cup of tea and a bit of home
lovely,
comforts
Trish.
afterwards.
Hey, that's a bit nice,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
And do you remember what he looked like in his uniform? Was he a bit smart? And...
Yes, he was quite small in those days.
Yeah.
I think he's grown a bit since then.
Is he really?
Yes.
Did you... I won't even ask him now. He's busy building up his egg
Yeah.
whites. I like the idea that he's grown since then. That is lovely. OK. Right, Tony's going to be doing a bit of blitzing. I'll come back and chat with you later.
Right.
OK, thanks very much. Let's see how James is getting on down here. All right, what's happening down here, my man?
What we got going on? First of all, noodles are just coming up. Let's just check them. They're going to take just another minute or so.
Do you like
Turn them
using
over.
egg noodles, or because there's so many different varieties?
Egg noodles basically just like a pasta.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same kind of principle. So if you're looking for something with that kind of similar taste and that kind of similar bite, go for egg noodles. You get your glass noodles as well, and soba noodles or soda noodles.
Yeah.
You can get the ones that you flick them, when you fry them, they come right up. But it's a different kind of crispy texture. And obviously, some are just made with rice flour as well, and water. It's not got egg in it if you don't want egg in your diet as well.
Wow. With all your travels, David, surely you've tried all sorts of kind of noodles and things across the globe, haven't you?
Yes, we have indeed, yeah.
And was it easy to adjust in those, you know, we're talking about many, many years ago, aren't we, that you first joined the army. So what was it like? Because the food in England then was fairly kind of neutral, fairly bland,
Fairly
wasn't it?
neutral, because I joined the army at 15.
Yeah.
And I left 25 years later when I was 40, so I had a whole career. I think the first spicy food I experienced was, in fact, a curry. We went to it at a wedding in Singapore.
Oh, yeah.
And as we were sort of on a guest, not just us, but a few of the other people in the office on the guest, we had a special table ourselves. The thing was a curry, it's a hot curry.
Oh,
Never having curry before, but I had to taste it, had to use it, because otherwise you would be insulting the guests.
Exactly, and their
bribing
culture
them.
too and everything else,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I first got used to got curry, then we sort of got into it. Then we started moving around in Hong Kong, we went to all different sorts of restaurants, Russian, Japanese, Korean.
Was it a great life? Do you look back at it? Do you miss it at all, David?
Well, I've been away from it so long. I mean, I've been away for 30 years.
Yeah.
But,
Excuse me.
Yeah, you carry on, mate. You carry on talking.
But yes, initially, of course, it's coming back into Civvy Street. It's a whole new
He's
life.
telling us to peel carrots now, isn't he?
Yeah, OK.
He's saying get on with it.
Yeah.
There we are.
Right.
We've got one of those sort of things there.
So yes, coming back into civilian life in the army, it's entirely different. But,
Sure. And was it difficult sort of taking your wife and your family with you all over the globe?
No, not at all.
Because they make things easier for
They
you.
do indeed. So, you know, you fly for a company passage, as it's called, and they allocate the flights and where you've got to go, and there's always someone at the other end to meet you, and accommodation available.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no problem whatsoever.
Oh, good. Good for you. It's great travelling around. Of course, the children will always have that experience, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so the children, our eldest two children went to boarding school once they reached the age of 11. beforehand. They moved around with us, and they learned to see the culture.
Yeah.
And they learned, a couple of them learned to swear in Malay as well.
Oh, I know, I can imagine. Chef, tell us about chocolate souffle. What have we got in here?
Right, OK, what I've got here is cocoa powder, 2 egg yolks, and we'll just put a bit of cream in there as well. And you let it down, and you get this lovely thick mixture. You don't have to do a creme pat then or a custard mix, OK?
Sure.
So what we've got there is some egg whites. We're just going to add a bit more sugar to them, whisk them up just a little bit more. I'm going to do a pan one. So I've got a non-stick pan on the stove, bit of oil in there, tip the rest out, straight into the pan, top shelf of the oven, crank that heat up.
OK, now about 9 minutes, gentlemen, coming up for the 9-minute mark. OK, to go.
I'll show you in a minute.
Okay,
right, so what we've got here
now,
is
let's have a look
we've
at
got
this
the cabbage. Cabbage is cooking down with white wine, salt, pepper, and I've just grated the apple.
I'm more of a fan of the old
apple's in
Savoy than the white cabbage, aren't you?
Well, with the white wine and the apple, the sweetness of the apple works with the acid in the white wine, and then it cooks down. Cider is very good for this one as well.
OK.
So, obviously, it takes a while to cook, so let's put
And
the
what
lid
about
on
a bit
that.
of cider vinegar? That's equally good?
You could
Just
put a bit in, but you don't want it to be too tart.
OK.
That's the problem.
All right, think
cider's
about
got more
that
of
a
the
little bit,
sweetness.
yeah, because it's a bit different to cooking down sort of red cabbage, isn't it?
Definitely, very
red
much
cabbage
so.
requires that little bit of tartness, and you can incorporate, a handful of sugar or something like that to balance it out. All right, he's got some carrots there. What do you want to do with those?
I want them cut up into thin strips. I've called it julienne, yeah. But if you can just do them so they're nice and thin, they
All
cook
right,
quickly.
then, I'll come back and see you. Let's
Yeah.
get back to the red tomato kitchen, guys, to see how things are going down here. When we left, the chef was talking about dicing up his potato. Remember at the top of the show, he said he was going to incorporate one to make it into a bit of a chowder. Am I right?
Chowder, yeah,
OK.
that's it.
Lovely, that's looking good.
We've added some breadcrumbs to that and some garlic. So that was the onions and the smoked bacon, bit of garlic, some thyme in there, butter, lots of butter and some olive oil, and then we've added the crumbs. We're just going to bake that off.
Yes,
Yeah, you like that
I'm
smell?
going to put that next to our pepper stuffed with an omelette.
OK. Oh, is that too hot, that oven, chef, for that omelette one? You're all right there?
Okay.
OK. All right,
This is the diced onion, smoked bacon, rosemary, garlic and potatoes, and we're just going to get those nice and brown.
And that's going to go with our fish. And notice our chef, again, I always emphasise this on the programme, ladies and gentlemen, hasn't cooked the fish yet. The fish doesn't take long to cook. If anything, I think we tend to overcook fish a little bit too much in this country. It breaks down, you lose all those kind of lovely nutrients, all nutritious value in it. So think about that. Nice and light cooking really does make all the difference. Or a little bit of steaming.
Some chives.
Yeah.
Nicely snipped
OK,
chives.
you finished with this, Tone, or are you going to be using that?
Yeah, no, finish with that now.
All right, then. That's all out of the way. Right, we've got a few chives that's going to be cut up there. Let's
Yeah,
get
that's
this
plenty.
bread here.
I just need a couple of slices off the end of that bread, the other end.
OK,
please.
chef. And we need a couple of slices of those too, Trish. So, Trish, are you into your baking?
I don't do as much baking now as I used to, but I do like cooking, yes.
Yeah. And why is that? Perhaps because the children have sort of fled the nest, so to
Yes,
speak?
probably. And we live such busy lives as well.
Yeah, because you're involved in the church too, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
And what exactly do you do there? Is it just sort of help out, or is it more... 'cause, in the choir, did you ever join the choir there? or?
Where we were before we moved into town, I sang in the choir for 29 years.
Wow.
But I've been...
Favourite hymn?
Oh, Love That Wilt Not Let Me Go.
Oh, that's a difficult one. That's
It
a difficult
is, yes.
one. Yeah.
And yet, although it's not easy to sing, especially unaccompanied, and it's not sung very often these days, it's still got into the top 20 on songs of praise.
I know.
Yes.
Amazing, isn't
Yes.
it? It's
But
warming.
The words are so beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
Does make it.
Yes.
About 6 minutes to go. Let's have a look at Tony's smoked haddock down here. See how he's getting on with that. He's taken the skin off, and is that a good thing to do, chef? Is one of those fishes that are quite light? Will it break up a little bit, or?
I'll tell you in about 4 minutes. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine because we're frying it.
All right then.
So I'm just going to using the ends of that into my chowder there. So in there I've got onions and bacon and potato, and now the smoked haddock. I've got some cream and some milk to thin it down.
Good.
We'll finish that with the
And the chives
chives
go in
once
there?
that warms
Once
up.
that starts boiling.
Potato's getting see the lovely colour we've got on there, and they're taking on all the flavours from the garlic and the bacon and the rosemary, and that's all.
And would you
lovely
ever attempt
in
to
this pan.
smoke your own haddock? Got a little smoker or something like that? at
No,
home?
I haven't actually. No, I'm quite happy to buy undyed, naturally smoked haddock. Let the smokers who do it properly. We have some fantastic guys over here in our
Especially in this kind of... OK, fantastic. What about you? You into your gardening? Would you ever consider smoking anything, or...?
I don't think so.
Nah, not up your street,
No,
is it?
no.
No, that's all right. We don't mind that. All right, now, we've got lots of pans on here. Want to see what's going on? We've got 5 minutes to go, chef, so... Oh, what's going to be cooking down in there?
It's a good way of getting rid of your water.
He's always got an answer for me, isn't he? He's always got something to go. All right, I'll leave you. You can see that's cooking down. Lots of lovely flavours. Very, very aromatic. And I'm sure we're going to be poaching a couple of eggs in there. We've got our lovely chowder.
Yeah.
And that's going to be
I've got a
finishing
pan
off.
there.
Uh-huh.
Because when there's bacon left over and you've got bread handy.
Well, you've got 5 minutes,
not
chef. Get it
doing a
cooked now.
bacon
Don't forget your
sandwich.
souffle. Looking fantastic in the oven. Briefly back down here again. We're into the stir fry. All those lovely things. And secret of a good stir fry, chef, hot wok or
Hot
what?
wok, get it really hot. Like I said before, if you're using your meat and your vegetables, in fact, cut it all the same size. Noodles I'm putting in towards the end now, because obviously they're already cooked.
Yeah.
I've got some going in here, and then some going in our noodle soup, which is coming up to the boil now.
Yeah.
So they're going in.
It's a bit of a noodle feast, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to split this with an egg yolk in a
Noodles
minute.
everywhere.
We're going to toss that around. I've got the red wine reduction on. Everything
Okay.
else is in the oven.
So I'll put that in a larger heat there, chef?
Yeah, go on then. Okay.
That's it, really
Right.
going. Only a few minutes to go now.
Right, so as you can
Tossing that in
see,
there.
everything's coated, everything's the same size.
Sesame seeds,
And it's
can I get
cooked
for you,
for-
chef?
Yes, please, that'd be brilliant.
Okay.
I've got half a lime here, which I'm going to finish it with as well. Which is great. There's a few of them in there as well, lovely. And then we're going to finish it with my favourite Asian kind of herb, bit of coriander.
Okay. And so often we have things like all these lovely seeds. It doesn't have to be sesame seeds, a few pumpkin seeds. They're wonderfully nutritious. People are constantly going on about the GI diet and, you know, slow releasing stuff. Nuts are absolutely perfect. Don't let them go off in your larder. Take a handful of them and toss them in there. Give them a bit of a shake. All those lovely flavours going through there. Beautiful. Okay, how you getting on down there, my man? You enjoying yourself? Brilliant. All right
Yes,
then.
enjoying it, thank
And
you.
what about herbs then, chef, to kind of lighten these things up? What would you incorporate? Here we are.
Coriander.
Yeah.
It works.
3 minutes to go now.
It works very well with it. I'm just going to roughly chop this. You could rip
Yeah.
it straight in there, actually, but I won't. Roughly chop this, a little bit in the soup at the end, and then also straight into that lovely stir fry that we've got. We've got lime in there, remember, we've got the garlic
Beautiful.
in there, the sesame oil, the citrus as well. Bit in there. Can you grab me out the eggs out over there?
No,
They're
grab
right there.
the eggs are over there.
I need to whisk up a little egg, like so, and then we're going to
Okay.
drop it in this soup, because I'm just about to serve that up.
I'll give you a fork.
A full egg.
There you go.
Yep, please.
One fork coming up there for you, my man. All right then, yeah, get that going. That'll all go in there. You enjoy doing a bit of cooking, don't
Oh,
you?
I
can
do.
just see you've got a bit of passion for it.
I do quite a bit at home.
Yeah, who's the better cook out of you two?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
rubbish, rubbish.
What are you saying down there? Is that rubbish?
Yes.
Ah, what can you do better than him then, darling?
I am a little more adventurous than him these days.
More
but,
adventurous than me.
No, he is a good cook. He is a good cook.
Ah, she's giving you a bit of credit there. She says you are a good cook. Less than 2 minutes now, gentlemen. Tony's just searing off that. We've got a souffle that's going to be coming out of the oven any moment now. And that's going to be looking really, really good. And let's have a quick look, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Just to give us a little bit of a teaser, really. Here we are. Look at that. Oh, a bit smoky in there, but wow. Check that out. There we go. We've got that lovely souffle. That's happening. It's rather a hot oven there, so let's just reduce that heat there a little bit. You want that pork out then, chef?
Yeah, thank you.
OK, then. We've got 1.5 minutes to go. Let's quickly pop over back to the red tomato kitchen, see
Bring
what's
it all
happening
over here,
down
please.
here. Already the pepper's out there, and it's glazed with all that. That's it. A little bit of oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, just on the edge. What's that? Just that little bit of dressing then, chef, to
just
lighten the whole thing?
You can actually have it as a side order at vegetable, or you can eat that. Vegetarians that eat bacon would eat that. Without the bacon, I was going to say.
Without the bacon, you can incorporate cheese or something, couldn't you, into it? OK, chef, there you go. We've got a beautiful chowder too. We've got a souffle that's going to be coming out of the oven on both sides shortly, ladies and gentlemen. But wonderful food. There you go. Everything's beginning to kick in there now. OK, 45 seconds, less than that. Let's get this food out, chefs. Everybody's really jumping at the bit now, really fine. Don't forget your poached egg, chef. That's coming along beautifully. OK. Audience, remember, you're voting for what the chefs did with this food that they were given in the bag. All right, then, grab that souffle. I've left the oven door open for you now, chef. Any moment now, I'm going to ask you to help me count down. Think about that. All right, think about how you're going to be voting. All right, let me just hold that there for you, chef.
I've got it.
You got that? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! They always get there, didn't it? Amazes you, I know. Our chef, James Tanner, had in his bag today a large piece of pork fillet, some egg noodles, white cabbage, a red apple, carrots and spring onion, whilst Tony Tobin had a piece of smoked haddock, a packet of streaky bacon, a potato, mature cheddar cheese, Romero pepper and a white onion. OK, well, now is the time for the tasting, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, first of all, what David thinks about it. So pick up your cutlery, have a bit of a go, Dave. Tell us what you think. What about a name, chef?
Well, we really fried, but we went a bit stir-crazy.
We really fried and stir crazy. OK, I can get that one. Tell us what you did with all your ingredients.
Right, so we've got noodle soup, first of all. So we've got chicken stock in there, garlic, all the cut-up vegetables, some noodles, obviously, finished it with coriander, white cabbage in there as well, bit of sesame oil on the top for a bit of flavour. Yeah. And basically, that's your lot. Bit of garlic in there as well. Now, over here, we've got the cabbage, which we cooked down. That's white wine and the grated apple. Cooked it down so it goes nice and soft, but still with a little bit of butter. You don't want it to take it to a puree at all. The pork, I say plain cooked pork, but the thing is, we put 3 garlic cloves in it when we roasted it, so that flavour really coats the oil. Then we use the same pan that's got all that flavour in it. We did a red wine reduction, reduced down the red wine, finished it with a bit of butter so it's rich at the end. Then our stir-fry here, monster stir-fry. We've got loads of noodles. We've got the rest of the pork, and I marinated it with lime juice, sesame oil and soy sauce. Bit of citrus flavour in there, obviously. And then we got all of the cut-up vegetables, David did. Sautéed them down, pork in there first, noodles at the end after we blanched them, obviously. Finished it off with sesame seeds, and that's like the flavour was already in there.
He likes his food, didn't he, Trish? He's flying through this.
He's enjoying it. He's enjoying it. That's the main thing. Then we've got the chocolate souffle in a pan, straight into the oven, cooked just in time. Finished it off, simple. Chocolate and orange goes really well. Segments in there. Nice and gooey as well. But actually, it's nice.
Go for the gooey bit in the middle. It's a bit charred around the edge there, Dave.
Lovely,
that's it,
lovely
my
gooey.
Hey, charred, black, call it what you want.
It's sealed.
Yeah.
So we got a nice gooey souffle. If I turn that round, you guys can see.
Yeah.
And that was with the cocoa powder, the egg yolks, some egg whites, a little bit of sugar in there as well, and then finished off with lashings of cream.
There you go.
That's lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, James.
You're happy?
Very happy indeed.
Well,
thank you.
hubby's happy. Let's see how our wife Tricia gets on with all her lovely ingredients. You pick up your cutlery and have a go, please, Trish. What about a name, please, chef?
Well, we had a good time. Good time. I know, it's terrible. That's the best I could do, OK?
OK, now, straight away she's trying the clam chowder there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hang on, let me just make this a little bit more presentable.
OK.
There you go. OK, so let's start with the haddock. We what we call pan roasted, so really just showed it to the pan, get some nice caramelization on there, served with the poached egg. That you don't need a sauce with that. You've got the yolk running out and everything, and that's sitting on top of diced potatoes, which are cooked in olive oil with smoked bacon and the onions, and some thyme and rosemary and garlic. Nice. And that whole thing just really, really works. The yellow pepper, we took the top off. We again used the onions and the bacon and olive oil and garlic and thyme, and then we put some breadcrumbs in there, fried it off, stuffed that. Here, we made a lovely omelette using some egg yolks and some cheese and cream. No, not really.
At least he's honest, didn't he?
Exactly.
He's honest.
And it did rise, but it went straight back down again.
How would you keep that? You're enjoying it, aren't you? How would you keep
that? No, the
that?
flavour's there, because we put so much cheese into it. What I didn't do was put enough egg white, 2 egg whites. Probably for the amount of mix I had, I should have taken 6 or 7 egg whites, and then it would have stayed up a lot longer. But we only have half a dozen eggs in the fridge. I wanted to poach one, so it doesn't really matter. It tastes fantastic. So we've covered that. And then, obviously, the pièce de résistance. These are very, very difficult to make, these. Bacon sandwich.
What do you think overall then, Tricia?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh dear, we'll have to pay £100 for that, Trish. There you go, fantastic. Trish, you enjoying it, aren't you?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
That's what we like to hear. OK, husband and wife are absolutely delighted, ladies and gentlemen. But what about our studio audience? Is it going to be a green pepper day or a red tomato one? Will you all please vote now? Well, up they go. Have a look at this. You can see that today it's a red tomato day.
Well done, thank you.
Hey, congratulations to you. You enjoy yourself today?
Oh, lovely, absolutely fantastic.
Lovely. Well,
Thank you
keep it
very
up,
much.
and good luck with everything, all the services and stuff that you're doing down
Thank
at the
you very
church.
much.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
£100 spending money there
Thank
for you
you.
to get out there and have a good time with it.
Yes, yes, I will.
All right,
Yes,
thanks
thanks
very much.
Thank you, Ainsley.
Always a
Yeah.
pleasure. Hey, so the missus takes the money today, and I'm sure it's going into the Anderson Fund, isn't it?
I don't know so much.
Not to worry. We've got a lovely ham for you to
Lovely,
take home,
thanks
so
very
you
much
can go
indeed.
home and recreate some wonderful dishes, courtesy of us. Thanks for coming along, David.
Well, thank everybody for inviting us. We've had a marvellous time today.
Oh, great.
really
I'm
happy.
glad you enjoyed it, and well
Cheers,
done, my
Ange.
man. Brilliant.
Thank you very
brilliant.
much.
Come
Cheers.
and join us over here because it's Quicky Bag time. And in the meantime, say a very big thank you to David and Tricia Anderson. Right now, let's see what we've got in our little bag today. OK, we've got some of the lovely little white radishes there, haven't we? Breakfast radishes, if you like. Some organic hazelnuts. We've got a bit of smoked duck. We don't normally get this, but you can pick these things up in the supermarket. It's kind of nice, you know, just quick ways of perhaps knocking up a little bit of a starter or something like that. Or indeed, a nice salad, because we've got gems there, we've got a pomegranate, and we've got some feta cheese. Gentlemen, a nice little selection. What do you think?
Right, OK. It's got to be a smoked duck salad, obviously. It's so nice. So what we can do is we'll use some of the duck, do a smoked duck salad, but we'll do a cooked salad. So what we do is we'll cook this baby gems down with orange juice and balsamic, add some of the feta, some roasted hazelnuts with it. Straight off, nice salad. With the radishes, we can grate them, cook them down with lemon juice, add some feta to it. The rest of the duck, we can do put it all out in a garlic crostini. And the pomegranate, cut it, knock the seeds out of it, add egg whites to it and cream, and we do a pomegranate whip, like a full in a glass, yeah.
All right, then, that's it. Nice little choice there, but let's see if Tony can persuade our audience to vote for him.
Obviously, a salad with the smoked duck. In fact, we'll fill the gems. We'll cut up the smoked duck, make a bit of dressing with the pomegranates and stuff like that, and fill those. I think a lovely salad, grated radish with crumbled feta, and lots of herbs and olive oil, lemon juice, salt and pepper. That goes really well. The hazelnuts, I'm not sure, might have to give James something to do with those.
OK.
He likes passing it on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Passing it on. Very nice indeed. All right, then. And there's a few things there. Who knows what we might come up with? You know what the Quicky Bag's like. But we've got to establish first which chef our audience wants to see. So what's it going to be, guys? The green pepper or the red tomato? Will you all please vote now? And a quick look tells me that today is a day off for Tony Tobin because it's a James Tanner bag. Go on, James, pick that up and let's get cooking. All right. Your 10 minutes cooking time, chef, starts now.
Right.
Shall we do this now? What
Okay.
do we do for you?
Right, let's start. We've got to grate the radishes. That's going to take
Do you
a while.
want to get
We've
those
got
in the
roast
oven?
them,
Yeah?
Thank you, mate. Do you want to do the full for the pomegranate?
All right, then.
Yeah, cheers, lovely. Get a few pans on for the crostini. And we're also going to cook some lettuce, so that's a bit different.
OK, nuts in the oven.
Lovely.
And, right. Now, what about these? Did you say you want to grate some of these up?
Yeah, we're going to grate them up. We're going to cook them down quickly with a bit of lemon juice. And then we're going to incorporate that with some of the feta. And I'm doing
That's going to be interesting, cooking those down, isn't
Yeah.
it? Eh?
And then I'm
Very
gonna
interesting.
Whack these on a crostini.
And do you like these breakfast radishes? I mean, I know that they, when you put them in the ground for seed, and literally a month later, these things pop up. They're so easy to grow. But do you like them? Do you like the flavour? Is it intense enough for you?
It's not quite as strong as a normal a baby round radish.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you want to try something and do your own little growing at home,
Yeah.
like you said, apparently that you can cook them, you can grow them rather and have them cooked within a
Do you
month.
like the way I'm grating them here? Look at that. Look. Can't be bothering them now. We're a bit worried about my fingers and all these little ones here. There you go.
That's why you're grating the radishes, mate.
No, exactly. You lot always gives me the dodgy jobs, don't they, eh? Oh, right. And what about you, Tone? Do you like breakfast radishes or are you not familiar with them?
I prefer them to pomegranates. I'm covered.
Oh, it's always nice to get unusual things on the programme. Do you not use pomegranate very much then, Tone?
Do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I've never used one before in my life.
Why not? They're lovely.
Because they completely ruin your chef's jacket, that's why.
And they're not. I remember my mum always used to say when I used to eat pomegranate, "Be careful of your claws, the stain don't come out."
Oh, brilliant.
One knackered chef's jacket. I don't know what you're going to do in the kitchen tonight, son. There we are. Keep a few of them back there, chef.
You want to chuck them straight into there?
Yeah. OK. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Is that enough in there?
I'll just pick out a few of these green bits, which are kind of gone in there like that.
Get out of it. I'll
Right.
give you green bits, mate. There we are. A few for the old garnish, if you
Lovely.
want to use those.
Right, so lemon juice. Obviously, this retains the colour straight away, but also you'll see as it cooks, it goes
Yeah.
quite pink as well. They all turn pink all over. The white will turn.
Uh-huh.
So, Good old squeeze of the lemon.
OK, what about your feta? How
Right,
do you
the
want the
feta,
cutter?
some of that's going to go on the crostini. I'm cooking that down now. Simply olive oil. I'm going to rub it with garlic afterwards.
OK.
So we can put some in with the radish after it starts to cook to get it going.
Lovely.
I've just put a pith
And
in
should we
there.
just crumble it in as opposed to dice it up, Chef?
Yeah,
You happy with
definitely,
that?
definitely.
OK, what about your lettuce? You say you're going to blanch them? Or
No, I'm going to cook them. That's what that back pan's on for. I'm going to stir fry it off.
OK, in wedges?
No, in leaves.
In leaves?
Just in leaves. Actually, if we keep back, say, 3 leaves,
Yeah.
why not use some of this duck and some of the radishes that are left over and we just fill them with the feta as well?
OK.
Just a few.
Just a few of these?
Just a little dinner party kind of garnish.
OK.
Now, the rest of the leaves...
I'll give them a quick wash.
If we can do the rest of the leaves the same, but I'm going to cook them instead.
OK, Chef. Lovely. And how are you getting on with your pomegranate now, Tone? And what are you making with them, by the way?
I'm making a fool.
We know you're a fool, Tone.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Tony.
I'm going to make like a moussey fooly thing.
Uh-huh.
What I'd recommend is a white clean apron. I'm going to whisk up some whites with a bit of sugar, egg whites that is, semi-whip some cream, fold the two together, a little bit of yoghurt and put the seeds through it, and it'll all be lovely.
OK, then. Now, what about, look at this, we've got smoked duck here. Now, a lot of you guys probably sit around the supermarket. You might think, oh, it's too posh for me. Tell us a little bit about this, Chef. What would you use it in?
Oh, I'd love it. I mean, for me, this always reminds me of the summer.
Yeah.
A summer salad of smoked duck. You know, you could crank a bit of Stilton on it or do like we're doing today, introducing different flavours with a warm salad and a cold duck. Stuff like that. It's beautiful. I mean, like, with this crostini, we'll be using it on that. But you know when I said before about the lemon juice, this is what happens, look.
Yeah.
Turns it all this bright red, like
Beautiful.
pinkish colour. It's lovely.
OK. And what do you want in here? A bit of sesame oil in with this?
No, orange juice and balsamic.
Orange juice and
Okay.
balsamic. OK,
So
Chef.
what I do is I put some of the duck in with the radish.
All
Got
right,
an
then.
electric whisk there.
All right. You've got a whisk. What do you want, an electric whisk?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
OK.
There you go. Halfway now, guys. All right. And we've got some orange here. And we've got all those pomegranate seeds. I might do a quick salad with a bit of mint and stuff like that. OK, I've got a quick question here for you guys. Tony's busy beating stuff up. So perhaps we can answer this. Can you tell me how I can make my own corned beef? This comes from Jerry Collins from Birmingham. Corned beef. Well, I haven't got balsamic in there, Chef,
Okay,
as you know.
I'll do it.
Well, Jerry, I've got to tell you that corned beef is probably, you know, one of those things that a lot of people associate with just going out and buying the tin. The traditional way, of course, is getting a bit of brisket or rump or a round of the beef, and you're just boiling it up. You can cook it, boil it, you can put it in the oven. If you're going to boil it, how to make it? Putting it into a large saucepan, OK, cover it with fat side up. You really want the fat side up. Cover it with water, bring it to the boil, and then simmer it. But what you're going to be cooking is a piece of meat for a long time, 1 hour per pound, OK? 1 hour per pound. Really cook it down. The last hour, you're going to throw in loads of vegetables, OK? You don't want to put them in before that. Throw in loads of vegetables, perhaps a bit of bay leaf or something like that, and allow that to cook down. Inside temperature needs to be about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So get a thermometer, all right? And then when you take it out, you're going to cut it against the grain, OK? Just let it cool down, of course, cut it against the grain, and it's fantastic. Then you can shred it up. It will break up. It gives that lovely kind of pink appearance. You can shred it up and put that into a pan with your potatoes and everything that we normally associate doing with corned beef. If you're going to cook it into the oven, same thing, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, but you're putting it into an oven with about 1 inch of water, and all the time you've got to keep adding water to it. It's a bit of a slow cooking process. Again, a long time cooking, but it really is worth it. I hope that helps you, all right, my man? Anything else to add to that, gentlemen?
You've got it in one, really. The slow cooking process is the key to it, though.
Yeah, very
That's the
slow.
idea. Just very, very gently. Keep on simmering it through. Make sure it's topped up with enough liquid, and you should end up with a great corned beef.
Yeah, what about you, Tone? Corned beef, tin or what?
Yeah, tin, absolutely. Just mind yourself when you've opened those ones, because they're a bit dodgy. But if I was going to cook it myself, whenever I make my own corned beef, I do it exactly as you do it, Aid. I'll tell you what, that takes far too long.
It's a slow process, but just take your time. That's what I say. Really take your time, and it's well worth it, Jerry. All right, now, what about a dish? Have you got another spare dish for the orange and that, Chef? Can I use a small one?
Use this small plate.
OK, we're going to do a little bit of an orange and a pomegranate salad, a favourite of mine. That's it, a few pomegranates just sprinkled on the top. That's it, let's pop that under there like that. There we are. Yeah, you've got to do that. Oh, come on. If you don't get this right, it really does look a bit awkward. So really make sure that all that comes together. And then we can just nestle that one in there. How are you getting on there, Tone?
I'm ready.
A few pomegranates, that's it. That's really lovely. We'll put a very light dressing on that. We've got 2 minutes to go now, guys.
OK.
And James, tell us what you're finishing off there.
Right, so I've just finished this with basil. Remember, it's got the lemon juice in it. We finished it with the feta, which is melted. I'm going to crumble on a tiny bit more. And I know there's only a couple of minutes, but the heat of the oven will keep this hot. So a tiny bit more feta on the top. Not going to add any salt because it's quite salty anyway.
OK.
Bit of black pepper on there, the fresh basil. This goes straight into the oven.
Ah, fab.
Now,
lovely. What about those nuts? Do you want me to shake those nuts for you?
I've grabbed your nuts, I'll shake them for you.
Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Give them over here. Pop them into a cloth. All right, they're going straight into a cloth with these guys. The idea is we're trying to release those skins from that, all right? And so in we go. And we're just going to give those a good old rub. There we are, pop those in there. Try to get those, really rub them vigorously. And that's going to start to release all of those papery skins on the outside. Here we are, just holding them in there. Where do you want your nuts? Chef?
Right, we're going to use that in our next salad, which is our cooked salad. I'm just slicing up this duck for it.
Yeah.
Getting rid of some of the fat, because you find that smoked duck's got a lot of fat.
OK, we've got 1 minute to go. There
Right,
we are.
excellent. I'm gonna put it
That's
all
the
in a
best you
bowl.
can do. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's lovely. Taking some of those skins off. A little bit of oil on there. That's OK. Right, how are you going to be? Are you going to be all right there, Tone?
About 3 minutes.
There you go. A little bit of oil, a little bit of black pepper on there. And away we go. That's it. OK, 40 seconds to go now. Let's get this out, gentlemen. There we are. One of those. You want some, one of these with a bit of feta
Yeah, if you can
cheese
pile
on
them
those?
up. I've got some more duck for you, Ainsley, here.
OK,
Right.
lovely.
So if you want to use some of that there with
Yeah.
that feta.
Beautiful, thank you very much. I'll just sprinkle that on the top there. All these just kind of popped in there. OK, 20 seconds to go now. Let's get that out of the way, gentlemen. There we are. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Thanks.
1. Stop cooking! Is that all right, my man?
Lovely.
You happy with that?
Yeah, lovely, definitely.
Fantastic. There we are. Lots of lovely ideas there. Very quick and simple, which requires a name. And what are you going to call it?
Well, I think this duck is unforgettable. That's what this is.
Ah, that's it. Hey, I think there's a song in there somewhere, isn't there? There is. Yes, indeed. OK, what did you do?
OK, so you grated the radish. We cooked it down with the lemon juice. And it turns that bright pink colour. Chucked in the rest of the duck, the smoked duck, that is. Then there's the feta, ripped up some fresh basil. Crostini, rubbed with garlic, olive oil, just simply toasted, garlic and olive oil. The mix goes on top, a bit more feta and black pepper, keeps it warm in the oven.
Nice.
Then we've got the cooked salad with the orange and the balsamic. We've got the rest of the duck, we've got some of the roasted hazelnuts, just finished with some fresh parsley I've actually just put on, and also some more of the radish as well.
Yeah, lovely.
And really similar, a warm salad, but with a cold meat. It sounds weird, but it works really well together.
OK, we've got some little lettuce cups there with the feta cheese and the smoked duck in there. Just nice to pick up and have a little bit of a crunch. What about the orange, mint and the pomegranate there salad? Really simple, very refreshing when you've got something which has lots of lovely big flavours. And, Tony, this would complement some big flavours. What did you do there, Chef?
We whisked up the egg whites with a little bit of sugar, semi-whipped the cream, folded the two together. I added some yoghurt to thicken up a bit. And then we just added the pomegranates once we got them out of the shell.
Over your jacket, yeah.
Well, we scraped them off the jacket and then put them in.
Yeah.
It's in the state of that. It's
I think
terrible.
the only thing we've really achieved in this programme is that you wear an apron when you're dealing with your pomegranates. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon on Ready, Steady, Cook. Take care. Bye-bye.